classic Benjamin Franklin look. Where we stand right now as hardly a human organism, really, something is trying to gasp for its own rights and needs to be here. That's this part of the organism that is human, that they don't get acknowledged here. They don't have their constitutional rights established. They need to figure out, how do they get heard at all? And I'm saying, okay, you don't want to go to court, right? But you should. That place has been empty since the day of Christ. Since 2026 years ago, the courthouses are dormant. The alive people aren't going in there and saying, excuse me. Somehow you should know prior, there could be a problem here on my street here, and nobody's talking, and one of them just poured a bunch of asphalt down. Now, how do I protect myself from the reactive abuse that I'm going to get when I ask them to please don't do that, remove it, because you're making a mistake? We don't do that here because it's polluting the place. It's polluting your own body. Let me hang my phone up. It's really inconsiderate of the people around you, the life around you. I would never choose to live on this block. If I was like walking around, a lot of people, they choose, right? Especially in a place like this, because it costs a lot to live here. And you would look around, right? And you would see the kind of neighborhood that you want to live in. Me, I would never choose this kind of neighborhood to live in. Never. No, because of the kind of people that ended up here. They're monstrous, reckless. It just, I don't want to be there with it. And it's so, having said that, babes, it's difficult for me right here, right now. I'm reaching out away from even the ecology of the community that this all is set in. It's not recognized that it's a small community. It's not recognized that there's a clashing happening, or it is, but see, it's not organizing enough. I'm going to say, babes, I would rather not do this alone. See, here's what happened to me. I just thought it was time to talk. In fact, it is time to talk. We're not going to ignore the fact that it's time to talk. We have Uranus moving into Gemini, and in fact, the realm of communications is going to blow up. We're going to communicate on communications and why we should even do it in the first place. See, I am way ahead, and I say, oh, this is an act of Buddhism. Talking needs to happen. That's pretty much all. Otherwise, when you have the supreme understanding, which is to be here now, just learn how to love somebody else's kid. Find out if you know what love is. Honor your own organism. I mean, you yourself achieve feeling good. Achieve feeling good about yourself, and then see if you can share it with one of these fucking people called men. If you ever dare just fucking experience freedom away from these people and that whole quagmire of role playing and thinking that you have to get involved with that, you're being pressured. See, here's the problem, is that you can't blame any one person, man or woman, for how impossible it is to function under being held in captivity by the monetary system out there. Like, hello, where's the leader to that one? We don't even have control over anything. So that's why I say to you women, would you please just stop? Apparently, you're not going to ask any questions, because if you did, you would hold back, and then the more you got to know. Catch 22, babes, when you become and you finally figure out what's happening here and you become human, you just won't dare do it. Nope. Nope, you'll see and say, look, that over there, I didn't bother. I don't have any stake in the matter of how many homeless people end up out there, how many assholes are are out there turning on us, acting like that they're a separate entity. Babes, just stop, please. There's something horrible happening on this plane. And here it is, January 18th, and I'm saying we can't enter into the best time of our life being dragged down by these issues that aren't even ours, being pushed in a corner and back against the wall. And now you, as just a single, like, it's like you're being punished for being an individual. I certainly would never want to be the same as my neighbors. Getting back to that, I have to leave now because I want to choose the neighborhood that I want to live in. It wasn't like this before. There were hardly 3 people living on this block. When stuff started happening where the neighbors were like taking the deep state deal a free deal. I did the right thing where I was calling code inspectors. Those code inspectors are being paid by the deep state. They are city code inspectors that until it turns into a city, they're not going to care. I don't doubt that it has lost its value now. People that want to live in intention come up here and they say, what is this checkerboard fucking shit going on? And these other people that are trying to keep sanctuary includes like my attempts to make these people to stop pouring the asphalt and please recant it, take it back. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. In fact, it can be removed. Why? Why should it be removed? We're staying next to a waterway right here. This waterway right here, nobody should be allowed to own any of this, by the way. You do not own land here. If you're paying taxes, you don't own it. You're being bossed to fucking stay there and hold fort, to never really get along and live so piss poor, impoverished as souls. I'm a healer. And I say, now, I don't want to live under oppression, and it's ending up that that's how I feel here. If you understand what's happening with that shitty fucking money system over there, because you don't really have your own banking open, it's lopsided, it's in the hands of the enemy, and what they do is they just choose. They look you up and down, and if they hate you because you're the light, they will deprive you and starve you out of your resources that everybody has a right to because they have to pay bills. See, apparently we all go through it. I never was hit by it until now. Hit by what, Shauna? There's a narcissistic society. I never had anything to do with these types. I make sure that they're being a friend of mine and that we can have a conversation and that we have something between us that we share. I'm talking like this because I've been hit by that population that just doesn't give a shit. And it is so fucking reckless and it's so fucking rude. See, this is why we have to open up a central banking system. I'm working on it right in front of you. What do you think? We open it up. See, it's free money that goes to people that knows how to be free. That's all. You take what you need and you're not sitting there hoarding shit. You know that you're so grateful because why you have your creative life now. Prove to the system that I'm a human being. It's difficult, but this guitar playing is necessary because Satan hates it. The Sierra Club is a law firm that is associated with Aaron Brockovich. Now, if you know who Aaron Brockovich is, then congratulations, you're a human being. And that's another human being who just put everything down and said, fuck, I have to open a law firm that protects people from these powers that be that actually organize neighborhoods and society into a toxic waste zone. And then people are getting sick now. And then she had to figure it out. They're using money to manipulate other people. You have to watch out. You see, this is what I'm saying is, babes, we were supposed to protect each other. I didn't get the right protection. And so right now I'm agitating under the symptoms of the codependent, right? The narcissist causes codependence in you in many different ways. And energetically, babes, they can turn the most independent, confident people into just sucking thumb fucking codependent people. This is the truth. And they do it in very subtle, energetic ways. It's a game, see, but you have to hook into them first. Any way, shape, and form, but it's an energy that says, I depend on you, I'm investing in this. And it's simple as, it's like this. Gaslighting. They gaslight. They're doing it. It's a subtle gaslight, and now you're leaning into them more and more. You just want to connect, but they're never going to do it. They're causing codependency in you now. They'll just kind of go like this. This is after 3 years, 13 years, 30 years that you're going like this and you're working together and maybe you're doing transactions, but now you want a person there to talk to and stuff. Now they go, ah. Now they're just not even available, not at all. There, not really. And the money will get scarce too. Really, they were keeping you there. It's weird. Many different scenarios that works out like this, but the bottom line is they're causing codependency by withholding the fact that you have a fucking deep responsibility toward each other. Human beings feel this. They'll actually get a conscience and say, "Oh no, oh, you asked," and so what I wanted to tell you about that is just to cover up and let you know, right? They don't leave you hanging, but that's the method that they use as they're broken people, and it's like the easiest thing. It's like what they're doing is going for the easiest, like predator route. They see an opening, and then oh, now it's time to fucking work the magic, baby, and they're grabbing your soul and they're taking from you in so many ways. It's all energetic, and we're supposed to just go. Not really. I'm gonna go and work at Taco Bell now. No, babes, we need to drop everything and stop this poor quality of life because that monetary system out there is 100% lopsided, one-sided. It's based in capitalism. Well, I say you're free to capitalize anywhere, anytime. You want to be a real capitalist? Let's do this. See, you have to singularize yourselves by using the sky. This is the skill that human beings are doing. They use reality, the third party witness, outer space, as a witness, very reliable. It's called a solid stream time. It's a perfect mirror to everything. The truth. I think Jesus says it just takes two or more. If you have made the sky your witness, in case a child is watching, see, a child relies on that. They say, oh, this is great. Outer space. Truth is such that when I look at it, all I have to do is go, why? What? How? And it's just a confirmation. Those aren't questions. If they have that question, basically they found something already. They just want a confirmation. Much to their dismay, if you have a bunch of gaslighting narcissists that want to cause codependency, there's where it starts. Simple learning process that the kid is taking the freedom to get into, and then some asshole is there saying no, or something like that. Or just fucking with their heads at a vital time when it's actually vital and they have no sense of how vital it really is. That children are in a hyper learning mode from the age 3 to 5. They can learn so much if you just expose them to everything. Expose them to everything. But at that age, most of you narcissists, you're limiting them from everything. They have to do a certain thing. Did you ever do their chart to figure out who they possibly can be? It's just a possibility. That because now you know the possibility, you don't have to shove that thing like you're trying to get a giraffe to climb a tree. When it's not a monkey, right? You're trying to get a fish to climb a tree. It's not a monkey. It's a fish. It belongs in the water, right? And at least through astrology, you can look and say, oh, the possibilities of which, no, look at how much fire this person has. This person is going to travel the world because it's all in their ninth house. If they have Venus and Aquarius, they're a bit attached. But if it's trying their moon, maybe they're really going to work out a humanitarian issue. Wow, this person, I really need to stay out of the way of them because I might project on them every single bit of the fucking way from the very beginning. And boy, I don't want to make it difficult for them to crawl out of that fucking cesspool. I'm not under my watch and not under my roof. Would you please? None of this would be allowed if you just kicked back a bit and then you understood tribal living. That everybody knows you, everybody can hear you and see you, and you're not feeling like a sitting duck is sandwiched in between psychopath and sociopath over there, and then all the narcissists around going, did I make a mistake? Nah, not you. You never make mistakes. Nah, it's everybody else's fault, right? Fuck, I am sitting here trapped. See, I don't get a good witness from anybody. I'm like dancing on an edge, right? Because I'm acting the fool. I'm like, no, I'm actually an entertainer. And what are you going to do now? You're going to fucking start punishing me because I'm free to do that. I know I'm free to do that. I exercise my freedom, and you can't keep doing the same thing. I could sell out, and I could do something completely different. I could buy a motorcycle. I could live in a tent under a rock and be happy. So here's how it is, and I bet you anything this is why that there's a money system. This is why there's a church. You have a Bible that has mainly men in it, because that's a club. Now, back to you women. Would you please stop? They just go over there, and they create an army through a parasite that says, yeah, I think that you should cater to your ego more. You should cater to that part of you that is so insecure. At all costs, don't let it be exposed, right? Don't do the work. Don't do the work. Especially don't get near an alive woman that will start provoking you to do the work. First of all, don't ever fall in love with her, but you will. See, that's the thing. If you're lucky, you'll experience it. You go, oh, what's this? It will never happen probably to you for all your life that you're working, you're running for money, you have a fake wife over there, a friend or whatever. But this is what happens to the cerebral narcissist. They realize that they're missing something. They could have a whole family already, but they're running for money and they never connected with that person. They're connecting with a status in their mind they have to meet up with, wife, children, and all. So they missed a vital part of being human, which is that did you manage to make a friend there? Are you guys friends, or are you living in bondage? Somebody is enslaved, and they're actually living in resentment. Usually it's the woman who experiences such bad slavery. She enslaves herself to another person if she has a child. But see, she's kind of built for that, but it should never be that she's pushed into it and then locked into it and doesn't feel like that she's going to get any help. No, there should be tribal living here and understanding more. But that's not happening, not in the West here. And that contagion of the West, how sick it really is in the United States, spreading up to Canada and down, and then going around the world. There's Elon Musk saying, God, too bad about these people that have empathy. We would be a lot more successful. Successful according to what? There's two types here. One of them thinks that success is to prey on the disadvantaged and the poor. They just don't know how to live here. They're not doing a very good job gardening. It's just a big fucking mess from one household to the next. You could just see it. Mental cases that are being employed and paid. They're paid to do what they have done to me over the past year. And I'm not going to put up with it. I'll say, and I think I need to be paid back. I think that particularly, especially me, who has lived in this place, I think that it should be awakened. There should be a community that says, because I can, because I like to, I'm going to help this person, I'm going to help them. I would like for my place to be remodeled, right? But I have refused to believe that I should just sit here and fucking think I have to do it alone. And I refuse to believe that I should limit myself to people like chicken shit brothers or other men that they're just like, I'm pretty sure, speaking for women right now, you could stay alone all your life. You're fine with it. But it's a male-dominated society. And it's like, well, we're supposed to find a partner here, right? But you have to weed through all of this shit. And it's possibly that it's weird because the older you get, the more you're going to find, if you're going to find somebody like at the age 38, right? You're not born with somebody tagged at your hip. You got to find somebody. Here's the thing. As a woman, you're handling these men coming at you that have been never not handled one bit by women or see they weren't, you can tell it's like, well, what were you, if anything sexually, you'll be like, where have you been? Why isn't it that why don't you know about the basics of the female anatomy? I mean, if you were interested in sex, why don't you know anything about it? See, something like that. If you're like me, a woman, babes, admit it. Now, did you show that person how to be? Did they thank you after that? And then the next woman that gets with them is like, thank God, I don't have to fucking work on this person in that area. And by the way, the place of sex indeed is a separate place. It's a sacred place that human beings have access to. Fuck the government, fuck everybody. Nope. See, it's not a place like your kitchen. It's not your workplace. It's not the monetary system. It's not money. No, that energy is sacred. It's a separate place that you have the privilege to go together. If you're doing it right, that's what you know. You know that woman, that's hers. Sex is her place. Why? Because she's the one having kids here. She has to do quality control right there. I call it right at the spigot. It's pretty fucking tedious. Because you know how it goes, girls. It's like, now I got to talk to this guy about something. And you will. Because why? Oh, he wants sex from you. He's going to try and come back and he's going to try to get at you. And what you have to do is you have to grab him and say, by the way, do you want to have sex with me, or are you just going to keep doing a power trip and 30 seconds later you're sleeping and I'm going, okay, so whatever. I have some time here and patience. I'll work on this a little bit. Don't you know you're supposed to do that? Right there, you're converting that narcissist, non-human, into a human being. That's your fucking profound responsibility here. if they can't figure out a simple patterning that works, that says, that hits the spot, that makes you smile, that keeps you feeling good, if they can't figure out that patterning, reaching for her body, whether it's done with tongue, his finger, or whatever, if he can't figure that out, never reproduce with him, because that's a stupid person right there. We're looking for somebody who can see patterns and then stick with it because why? It worked and it feels good. And believe it or not, I hate to bore you, but it gets better and better. You just keep doing that pattern over and over again. Like boom, zip, and you do it 3 times a day. That's how real life human beings are living when they really get along good. No, it's no problem. No, it's like fuck yeah. You're giving each other when you're doing sex right, you're sharpening up all your senses together. You're not doling each other down and feeling now disempowered even more and more to the point. See, this is what's happening with women is that they don't even know their profound responsibility. It's work. It's hard to tell them brutes, right? Them people. You could be inherently, your DNA could have like a memory of how that they can kill you. So do you dare tell them no and then say, this needs to be corrected or else I can't do this anymore with you? Really, you see it out there, these women that are, it's like they do self-harm by just gaining a bunch of weight. They don't want to be attractive to a man anymore because it's not working for them. First of all, it's because they're not doing the fucking tedious work of being an alive woman, baby. You got to grab that thing by the horns. See, I'm 51 years old and I'm fucking letting you know this. Imagine if we didn't do this as just presenting a very valuable essence coming out of a generation. It's coming, and I'm kind of a leader. If you're a woman and you're 49, 50, 51, 52, obligate yourself now to open the channel and start teaching people what's going on here, how it is. That's all I'm doing. And if you're a woman that can't relate with me and you're wondering, oh, I don't know, but maybe that's right. I don't know what an orgasm is. I'm sorry to hear that. But you have to make sure that you're having a good time in your own body without anybody. Make sure that you learn how to play fucking hockey and basketball. Do everything that they can do and do it a little bit better because you know how to play fair. But when it comes to that place where it should come naturally, babe, you should see a natural woman. That's what they do. They just do quality control. They're like Betty White described. I wish that I could find that fucking video where she just says, men can never be a woman because of the way that we take a pounding from them, right? And then it's after like the 6th time or maybe the 6th year. This is how it is, girls. It might take you 6 years to finally convert that thing into something safe for you. You have a profound responsibility to make the place of sex safe. You keep taking birth control until you have achieved being successful. That now that man is like, wow, Eureka, thank you so much for showing me your sex. I thought it was all about 30 seconds later. And I'm like, there's something wrong with her. I don't know. But he's actually not fully developed there. That's a weird person because real men, no, it's all about the woman's pleasure, babe. It's called double your pleasure, double the fun. It takes discipline too, though. Now, are you a man watching this? Imagine if none of us did this, that the generational value just went out the door and we listened to dumb fuck over there doing the main narrative, which is most likely the I say the male dominant race, but really what that is that, okay, again, you women, stop having kids, please, because they're taking that side of the organism that needs so much work. They are the ones that have created what looks like a religion that says that we have to seek a master and become like something. I don't know. We have to find what? Christ, God. You have to go what? To church somewhere. You have to go to a woman. And the phenomenon is that no, it's kind of well known that women my age who, if it comes to sex, it's like, okay, so we'll only have and find time for the young man because, well, he can learn. The older man that doesn't know and that he has to be taught, get the fuck away from that person because he was interested in something all of his life and it certainly wasn't sex, right? And so, but this is common that okay, so a woman has a bunch of money. She's my age. they call her a cougar, right? Well, what happens is men, little men, what I mean is they're younger, like 20 years younger. If they are a curious, healthy man, he's interested in her more than the little girl. Why? Oh, because she knows what she wants and she will show him how to do it. Yep. And that's the history of what we have. It's being buried. No, it wasn't long ago, hardly 40 years ago, that we knew of this scenario where women sexually mature at the age 40 fucking 5. They are peaking in sexual maturity then. Their sensual bodies are completely tuned up, and they are, if they're doing it right, they have a lover already, they have a person, they have a partner who they dial right in on it. I mean, just looking at them makes you do a double take, because it's like, look at how that woman glows and look at that man. And it's just an example. And it's certainly not over there at my neighbor's house stuck with a warlock, right? How about you? Did you get stuck with a warlock? I am saying that there's a solution to the warlock situation here on this planet. First of all, you women, again, don't do it. Don't reproduce with them. I'm sorry that you might have to go to a shelter, but see, I think that I should open a shelter here. I'm sitting in a studio home right here. I use the bathroom and the kitchen in the big house. There's 4 bedrooms, and I'm sitting here going, fuck. See, the problem with helping people like this, whether they're men or women, especially women though, see, there's a problem with society that the reason why that they're in the hole that they're in, the way that they are, the reason why people are so sick and diseased, it's because the government manufactures it that way. They have created the disadvantaged and the sick and the poor. And then they pose as helpers. We're going to help you. So they don't really help. They're creating it, and they keep you stuck in programs that don't help. See, and so if I did something like I tried to get a government grant based on this, the old world, the standard that never helped really, we have to think out of the box now. And it's up to us. A whole other generation, babe. And I'm sure that there's kids 25 years younger than me that can go, there we go. Yeah, look, that person is saying something. See, it probably has to skip generations, because what we're looking at is a flat line for a while, right? And we see the government getting, like, running the same fucking shit, trying to keep people they're stuck. There's a stuck race here. They're robbing tribes on a massive scale. The more advanced that they get, what's happening in Iran is this. There is knowledge that indeed we do space travel. The nature of our reality allows something called teleportation. Babes, when us women complain about men that are like this, that they don't really know how to be there. Really, they're there. They know they want something. They want sex from you, but they're not going to do anything for you. Good luck with that. See, you would rather strip them down and have them just completely, like, in need, like fully dependent, right? Like they just don't have a place to live. Every once in a while she's saying, and so, but would you like to know about me and what I like and how, and to know how I operate? Like, do you want to know that I actually orgasm? I actually orgasm too. See, here's the thing, babes. 51 years old, and I'm going to tell you, I have ran into women. It was none of my business, but sometimes people start talking, right? And then they started talking, and I was really curious, because I can notice, no, they're actually in a narcissistic relationship, and they're being driven fucking. And they all, so it's like, oh, okay, so they deserve each other. I don't know, but she started talking, and oh, she's gonna talk about the sex, and I'm like, oh, really, really? So are you having an orgasm? And here's her response. I think so. The answer is no. So this is my experience, that women, I'm meeting them that are younger than me even, and even older, that they're not like me, that I just make sure we're having fun there or forget it. You know what I mean? And you should be equating in your mind, okay, so this man now, I mean, if you happen to find yourself single at the age 45 or 50 and they're your same age, no, automatically your intelligence is saying, oh no, he's been around the block. We've all been on the bike and we're going to get on it. It's a little rusty at first, but then we start balancing and going, yay, I love this. I knew it. See, some people aren't like that. And I say it's because they don't know how to do essential work only. You should. It's a generational value boiling up and welling up and out, and people are to learn from it. You don't learn from a source that is way over there that isn't looking at you and actually sparking an energy in you that says, oh, that sounds right to me. Yeah, that's it. It's called resonation. We have a perfect opportunity here, and that's what I'm doing. That's just what I'm doing. There's some people that they're thinking, God, she hasn't shut up yet. When is she going to stop going crazy? Never. I'm going to stay like this. And sometimes you'll find that a fucking refined version of the material that I'm holding up. Which, what do you think it is, kids? Can you help me? How have you been paying attention? I've been bringing up some subject matter over the past 2 years and refining something that keeps coming up. No choice. I have no choice. I'm a channeler. I'm a channeler, and I'm looking at it like, oh, there's something going on, but I don't think it's necessarily between men and women. Although it shows up easily there that how that something in the background can pit both of them against each other in such a way that it's disturbing, especially for women, because it's like, wait a minute, I reproduced this, and now I'm having to put up with it coming back at me like this. See there, babes, will you fucking quit? The problem with you that you don't like me because when I say that, when I say don't have children, don't do it. The problem with you is that you've never experienced your own freedom enough to know that no, that's very valuable. And if I can't be free and have children under that freedom, I don't want to do that. It's bondage enough. It's a big enough freedom to begin with. It's a big enough responsibility to begin with. Freedom is a profound responsibility. In fact, responsibility and freedom are like synonyms. Yep. And one of the profound responsibilities is that you turn the sky into your third party witness, more reliable than any other mind around, even yours. As a human being, you surrender to God and or outer space reality. That's what it is to be human. This is where you have no choice. This is where you are free. Because when you are stuck with having to make a choice, you are moving into bondage, a kind of limitation that you should understand that when you reach, well, I was going to say Buddhahood, but really it's just you're a human being. You don't have a choice. You just move. Do you understand that concept of being spontaneous and that you just move and then you ask questions later? This is the divine I am. I am Aries. I am confident in that my response is genuine. And you do not set that baby in the corner. Nope, you listen to it. It's saying something valid when it's crying, when it gets angry, when it's getting emotional. The Aries is the most sensitive part, despite what everybody thinks about that Mars-ruled person. They're very sensitive, but they have the protection of the divine, which is the Mars energy, which is very guarding. It is very active in doing things that it's just a doer, and it will cut things out that is not necessary. It will protect things and bring things up that are. It's Mars. Mars is highly misunderstood. It's aggression. It's not violence. If Mars gets violence, that's the negative side of it. If Mars is being productive, it is being aggressive, and it is getting angry, and it's melting things down and reforming it into something more solid. Anger is a divine intellectual emotion that should be respected like any other emotion. In fact, anger, and especially the hostility part, is what is needed to break off a misalignment and start on the path that you are supposed to be on that will not cause you disease. This is the Aries people that are misunderstood, who we act naturally this way. We are being misunderstood as being the worst narcissist, when really, no. You're mistaking confidence and our ability to just have no choice but to move. If there's a fire, people, them who are chicken shit, they run away from the fire. We run towards it and we put it out. We are your superheroes. We have a temperament that you do not relate with because you do not let yourself have that temperament. You don't let yourself be a natural born human being. So I'm protecting me and my type, which is just the whole organism that is humanity, that has this potential to live without a choice. There's something called choicelessness, my friends, that is far more superior than thinking that you have a choice. Just give yourself no choice, babe, and be real. Thank you. Just move. Just move. I have energy at my disposal and it needs to be productive. Just because I'm angry doesn't mean I'm not being productive. In fact, you can have a problem with your anger if it's not being productive. Now, just because that your neighbor doesn't like the way that you're conducting yourself and moving things around with your ability to get heated up about real live issues that if we expand and stop living isolated, other people will join us. They'll say, "Yeah, no, I agree. How do we protect ourselves against this shit mixing around here?" So it's not really men though. See, it's called a predator, where um, they know they want to get something. They want to tag you. They want to fucking take your energy or your meat or whatever, but they can't because you're fine, right? You have your vortex together. You're working. You make breadcrumbs, and it's fine for you. It's not coming from a source that's taking from you. You're dealing with it, and you're keeping your sheen, and you're cool, and they're watching, and they're going, I like you. So then, no, it could go a long time. You just them going, how can I get close to you? Now you fall down. Your fucking mom dies or your grandma dies or something, or you lost your job, or you're just going through a hard time. You're down. You need help. Now the predator, who is sitting there going, how do I get close to this person? How do I get close and take from them and rob from them? I want what they have. A predator waits for the opportune time. That's all. And that is when the prey is down and vulnerable. That's what happened to me. I keep explaining to this fucking snake and chasing after it and saying, I didn't deserve that bite. Help each other now. But see, the thing is you can't, right? Because it's not your money. And and it, and this language thing that I'm telling you, it's the truth. You have to start bringing it up, or else they're going to flatline every bit of the avenue through which that we do get our freedom into our intellectual property, which is every bit of the truth found in outer space. And our spiritual belonging is outer space itself. And we have a right to clarify the difference between the first dimension and the third dimension. The first dimension is your mind, and it's words, it's talking, and it's very like non-existent. I mean, I can go like this, and I'm still talking, but you don't know what I said, right? It's very illusory. Words are invisible, right? You can't hear me, but I'm still talking. My mind is going. I'm whispering words. You can't hear it, but it's very potent still as far as that one dimension. It's not as potent as an action. It's not as potent as a shoe. In fact, thoughts and words are not as potent as a fart. Farts, you can literally catch them in a jar and hold it, and then here comes your little nephew, right? 6 days later, you're like, here, I got you something. And then they'll go, oh, yeah, uh-huh, that's a fart. But no matter what you think, no matter what you say, you can say egg fart and then close it up, hold it for 6 days. I'm a master, by the way, and I'm going through this for some reason. This is what we do. This is real. You need this. The fucking population needs this lessening. Back to the jar. No matter what you say or think, you can say from the ports of Maine, and then close it, save it for 6 days, open it up, and tell your nephew to sniff what you have inserted there via your words. They won't smell anything. No? They'll be like, what? Not substantial. Thoughts? Like phantoms and dreams. Substance, they have none. It is the man's side that wants you to fucking worry about thought and the mind and cater to it. The man's philosophy is all about just keeping the mind to cater to the mind. You know, you want to think positively. So if you have a negative thought, replace that with 3 more positive thoughts, and that's the mind just trying to be more real than simply shutting the fuck up and being present to the truth in reality and then learning that way. Shut your fucking mind up. Period. Because that's its nature. It wants to take the front seat and say, I'm more real. And so then there's a mind. Man, that's the side of man who succumbs to the disease called the mind. And it is the woman's profound responsibility to take him out of it. It's no problem. All she has to do is just be very beautiful. And he starts going. Basically, if it's a fucking naked pygmy waiting for the dawn of his own awakening, he wants to break that person down. He does not care if she gets fat, hurt, like this. Oh, he's in power. He's in power now. Oh, God. Yay, let's stroke to the misery that only I know how to be. Unadvanced and just completely non-self-reflective. You know nothing else, right? Otherwise, you're being controlled by that woman who is a fucking control freak. And see, that's the thing, is that men can succumb to a narcissistic woman just the same. And here's what it looks like, is that just this is the way it is. Narcissists are put together like dollies, and then the empath is over there like looking like a goddamn Raggedy Ann doll. That's the fucking scenario, always. Spare me, please. Save me. If you want to know what women are concerned about, fuck yeah, it's that. That's her fucking life. That's her valuables right there. Her sexuality is the only single most valuable thing. Why? In case kids come out of it. In fact, a whole civilization can. In fact, your religion is love, and the ritual is sex. You didn't know that? Imagine if I didn't say anything.